I used to be terrified of early mornings, sun flipping, coming up, birds chirping, or somebody coming home from some after party or something. I used to be terrified. Now I crave it. I used to say that I wanted millions, but I was still a creature of comfort. I still wanted to go to the parties, I still wanted to chase the girls. So I didn't have the attention span to focus on any of the business models I was trying. This is what I love about the way I've put my life in check now. It's 5 PM, I'm gonna go get in the shower and then we're gonna go out for a steak dinner. I wanna show you guys that it doesn't matter how low you've gone, it doesn't matter what place you're at right now, you have the ability to become super successful and we can be on this journey together, but it all starts with the habits. Currently 5:33 AM and today's video I'm going to take you through how I changed my habits to actually transform my reality. And 2 years ago, I'd still be awake at this time, but I'd be living a completely different life. I was living a life of degeneracy, hedonism, no purpose, no direction. But deep down, I always wanted to achieve a lot. And I knew I had a lot of potential, but I just hadn't unlocked. It genuinely has changed my life. I'm going to take you guys through a quick day of how things look now compared to how they used to be. Man, I used to be terrified of early mornings. Sun flipping, coming up, birds chirping, or somebody coming home from some after party or something. I used to be terrified. Now I crave it. So peaceful. The only way I was able to get control over my mind at the start was by pissing myself off. I always knew I wanted to achieve big things, and when I was seeing all of this like success lifestyle on TikTok and all these Andrew Tate videos and all these people, I was like, what the flip, they're living a complete different life to me, but they're not doing any drugs, they don't live a life of hedonism, they don't chase girls, everything they want comes to them. So from then, 2 years ago, I realized that anything that we want has to be on the other side of a massive identity shift. You guys probably, if you're watching this, you probably started trying to wake up early, you've probably started trying to put away all the things that are holding you back, you've probably tried to start focusing on success and try to focus on business and just absolutely better in your life. But the thing, when it doesn't stick, it's not because you aren't capable, it's just that you right now aren't capable, because it's all on the other side of identity shift. Even all these super successful people we've seen, like the Tates, when he was 20, he couldn't have been the 30-year-old, 40-year-old guy that he is now with all that money and success, because it's all about our daily habits compounding. If your daily habits consist of porn and drugs and drinking, of course you're going to have self-doubt. Of course your reality is going to be constrained. Of course you don't have like-minded people trying to strive for success. Because I was the same way. I was like, oh, why do I need the right circle? I need the right people around me. Why are they not here? And I used to get so frustrated about it. And I started turning back to God and I used to pray for it. But God didn't allow those people into my life until I bettered myself. And even so, it doesn't get easier. Like every day, I still have to battle to become my highest self every day, but that's what makes it worth it. So now it's 5:30 in the morning. I'm going to go hit the gym. I'm going to go do my morning cardio. And I've got a lot in store for today. I'm going back to some places that I've not been to for a while. And I'm excited to bring you guys with me. But yeah, I'm going to take you through exactly what it is that I do now, how I broke all of my old habits, and how you can do the same pretty much, because I'm no different than you. And once we got a grip on our habits and our vices, we're going to crush it in this life, bro. Morning's been conquered. Check the fit. Got the water stacked, of course. And now I'm going to take you guys with me on a beautiful day. Watch matches too. Wait till I get a Rolex. Everyone's going to lose their minds. What's up, boys? So I smashed the morning cardio, obviously did the morning routine, read the Quran, and now I'm heading to city centre in Manchester because I've got a hospital appointment, and then I'm going to go do some work near the same uni that I was at for the past 3 years, well, 2 years ago. And the reason I'm going and doing work there is, one, I don't really work out in public, and I like being around people, but because I'm so locked in on my goals and I'm so locked in on what I want, I kind of isolate myself sometimes. I still go out for food, I still go out for dinner, still meet the boys, but I like being out in other environments. And two, I've not really been back there since transforming myself into who I am now. And the man I was back then was completely different. Like, I had these big dreams of who I was going to be in the future, but my habits didn't reflect that, my standards didn't reflect that, and I was so mentally weak that I was just always falling back into my vices. I was severely addicted to drugs, I was godless, and that just showed in every single kind of walk of my life. And I want to show you guys that it doesn't matter how low you've gone, it doesn't matter what place you're at right now, you have the ability to become super successful, and we can be on this journey together. But it all starts with the habits. Because I used to say that I wanted XYZ, I used to say that I wanted millions, but I was still a creature of comfort. I still wanted to wake up at whatever time, I still wanted to go to the parties, I still wanted to chase the girls, I still wanted to feel happy. I was chasing happiness. And that's one of the most destructive things we can do as men. Chasing happiness. Because when you chase purpose instead of happiness, you end up happy anyway. Because you've dedicated yourself to a craft and to a mission and to bettering yourself every day. And the only way we find that craft is by putting ourselves through discomfort. So the man that I used to be, chasing comfort through the drugs and through the vices, I was obsessed with that stuff. I was obsessed with this feeling of status, knowing that I was the party guy, I was the cool guy, and I used to mask all of my own inadequacies through that life. But now, I'm so 100% the other way. Now, all I care about is chasing that excellence through waking up early. I wake up at 4 a.m, through deepening my connection with God. I never miss a prayer. I can always improve, but I'm always striving for the best in that realm. And the way I did it is I just had to make my goals so much more appealing to me than the life I was currently living. And it all starts from raising that standard. So I had to start cutting off people that didn't have the same goals, didn't have the same ambitions. I started dreaming of these millions, I started dreaming of these 100k months, 10k months, 50k months. And I started working like a rabid dog to get there. So I used the same obsession that I was putting towards the vices, I was putting towards the drugs, I was putting towards the bad habits. And I started channeling that into business, because I knew that I didn't want to work for anyone. So I was just researching loads of business models, Forex, e-commerce, trading, all of these things, little by little. And I still had bad habits at this time, but I started stacking up so many good habits where I'd learned to focus, I'd learned to try and make money, I'd learned to encourage that entrepreneurial thinking, to the point where eventually, through stacking up enough good habits, you start to let go of more and more bad habits. It's like a war of attrition. It's like the more that you go one way, the less you succumb to the other direction. So everything starts with direction for us in this life. Everything starts with dreaming of the man that we want to be. But that dream's nothing without putting that work in every day to get there. So it's not like, oh, I'm just going to overnight quit all these vices. Overnight, I'm just going to become the ideal man I've wanted to become. It starts little by little. It starts by just taking that imperfect leap of action. It starts with that imperfect leap of faith to start stepping into that reality of the ideal man. Because I know what it's like when everyone's kind of telling you can't achieve XYZ. Everyone's telling you that you can't go and crush your goals. Everyone's telling you that you can't dream bigger, because they attach this label, this identity of you that they've seen you be over the past 3 years or however many. But you're gonna find your tribe of the people that align with your mission, align with who you're trying to become rather than who you've been, by you sticking to your word, by you waking up early, sticking to those early morning wake-ups and early gym sessions. People are going to have that undeniable stack of proof that you are who you say you are. Finished the hospital appointment, everything's all good, alhamdulillah, healthy, nothing up with me. But now, back at the stomping grounds, the uni that I went to, the Uni of Manchester. And 2 years ago, I was in the same place, exact same place, but I was a completely different man, because I was addicted to loads of drugs. I was completely distant from God. I had no real structure or purpose, but I always knew that I wanted to be successful, and I was wondering, like, why am I not successful? What am I doing wrong? But the last thing I wanted to change was my habits. Allah says in the Quran, God does not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. So here was me, like, smoking weed, partying every day, not paying attention in class. I didn't have the attention span to focus on any of the business models I was trying. I'd try and fail them after like 2 months. I was wondering why I can't make a change. But now I'm here, and if I've not worked at least 10 hours on my business a day, I feel unaccomplished. If I can't miss my 4 a.m. wake up, because if I miss my 4 a.m. wake up, my day's ruined. Because I've held myself to a higher standard now, hold myself to the absolute utmost standard, so that I can achieve my goals, because that's what it takes. It's all about raising the standard, raising the frequency that you operate on. Once you set your goals for yourself and set the direction you're going to sail in, your daily habits have to reflect that. You have to think, what would the highest version of myself do? And the highest version of yourself doesn't drink, he doesn't do drugs, he doesn't party, he's aligned with God. And I know it seems a bit hard when you're first trying to undergo that change. It's going to be gradual, but your purpose and your obsession has to be stronger than your desire for degeneracy if you want to actually attain the heights of success. And that's the journey we're on, bro. That's the journey we're on. And it's going to be hard. You're going to have to cut off toxic people, the people that aren't aligned with the mission you're going on. It's all going to be worth it. Day by day, getting better, step by step, getting towards those goals. The hardest thing for me, because I developed such an obsession to being on drugs and being the cool party guy and the reputation I'd built for myself, when I took that leap and did that full 360 to just being obsessed with my goals, I remember I'd tell people, like, oh, I'm gonna get to 10k a month within the next year, and I did that. And when I was telling my goals to people, they were like, oh, that's going to be really hard, and just discouraging me, making me think it wasn't possible. I'm not even a fraction of the man I want to be now, because I've raised my standard. I want multi-millions, I want actual influence, I want to make the world a better place, I want to live that high life and show that it was all due to God. But your belief anchor has to be strong enough to do that, and the only way you reinforce that is by sticking to your daily habits, putting your fitness first, actually developing that level of skill and focus, and putting passion and obsession into your craft every day. So we're never going to supersede our level of self-development, but you end up falling in love with this process, and genuinely there's nothing more gratifying than that now for me. Remember, we used to walk on these roads, stoned going into uni, because it was just a kind of social thing, and we'd go try talk to girls. It's all this haram stuff, and it never fulfilled me. I'd always be wanting more, just craving the next hit. Like, oh, how can I feel better today? What more degeneracy can we pursue today? And I always felt so lost. My mental health, like, at the time I just thought it was normal to just cope with everything with drugs and drinking and weed. There's so much more to life than that. you start to get those monetary rewards, you start being able to provide for your family. I'm able to like pay for my family now. Even over the past year running my agency when I was broke, I couldn't pay for my family and I couldn't provide, and that really hurt me. Through showing to God that you are worthy of the goals that you want, all these things start to come to fruition. This co-op, we used to drop bear game. This is the business school we used to go to. Always just like, I was in decent shape. And we'd always just be camping out, like waiting, hoping the girls would make eye contact and go talk to them. Such a degenerate life. Lasted out a good couple hours of work. Now I'm gonna head back, go eat, then go for Jumma, and then I'm gonna go hit a naughty gym session and hit push with Brad today. I love the way that these days are structured. It's always just complete task, complete task, complete task. The more that you occupy yourself, keep yourself busy, moving towards your goals, you get so much more satisfaction and fulfillment than actually ticking off real things that give you real dopamine, rather than all just the degenerate BS that we used to do. Also made me remember, there's no better feeling than just living with your boys. Saddling off and living with your boys, you make the best memories. I'm moving in with one of my boys, inshallah, in the next month. But it doesn't matter if you're broke, depressed, sad, whatever. When you're with your boys, have a good time. Sometimes you need that period of isolation. If I was still living with my boys from uni, I wouldn't have been able to go under the growth that I've done now, because I wasn't attracting the right people. But now I've got the right people in my life. Once we all saddle up and live together, then that's going to be a good time. One of my biggest issues when I was a degenerate for all those years was seeking validation from people, because everyone around me, no one was religious, no one was striving for the utmost success. Everyone was partying, enjoying their lives, and I think, I'm not advocating for it, but everyone pretty much goes through a period of trying these things to understand it doesn't bring them joy. But I was chasing so much validation from people that I just took everything to the extreme. I was always wanting to buy the new designer, whatever money I got in, I'd make money by any means, haram, and just wanted to be that guy wearing all the new designer. I wanted to be that guy standing out at all the parties. I wanted to be that guy, well, I was that guy that if no one else could get into a place, I could get in, because I just wanted to be that bad man, because I lacked it growing up. But these are all very shallow things. When you start applying them to the real world, when I'm like, right, cool, I want to be the guy that gets a private jet, I want to be the guy that gets into these restaurants, that's more fulfilling without actually compromising your morals or living a degenerate life. It's about chasing the real things, chasing real validation from yourself, and then that goes on to the world as well. Now, the best of all habits, heading to Salat al-Jumma with Akhi Fawad. Cleanse the soul, purify the mind, and inshallah I'll get some good nuggets as well from the day. And drive your car responsibly. Woo! Smash that gym session, push. I've not got a mad pump, to be honest. It was quite a quick one, because we're going for dinner now with one of my boys, and I don't like training push together. I've realised I've switched to doing chest and biceps and back and forearms and shoulders and triceps together, and I'm able to get such a better pump on each muscle group. With push, I just feel like everything's already exhausted, so I don't enjoy it. But back when I was in uni, back when, where I was today, I had so much time on my hands, because that was the only real good habit that I had in my life, was consistency with the gym, where I just hit the gym weights 6 times, just even 7 times a week, just push-pull legs, rinse and repeat. And obviously I was 2 years younger, so I had a lot more energy and I got in really great shape. But that was one of the only things that actually brought me out of that life, along with my Islam and along with my obsession to exceed in business. Like, I don't think I would have had the confidence to do any of it if I wasn't consistent in the gym. So you can't have a strong mind without a strong body. You can't have a strong mind and a weak body. So everything kind of is underpinned by that. But the only reason the gym's so effective is we're actually getting that kind of physical exertion that actually allows us to feel manly, and we get the external kind of validation, we get the external output where people respect us more naturally, we respect ourselves, we like what we see in the mirror, we get more attention, and people respect you a lot more when you've got that physical presence. Even just the discipline, people can smell it on you. Like me, like I'm not anywhere near where I want to be, but I retain my semen, I don't take drugs, I don't do anything that detrimental, I'm in the gym all the time, so people can sense that on you. And when I was trying to get all these business opportunities, when I'd finally stayed consistent and people knew like, right, this guy's going in the right direction, because I was in shape and because I had that discipline there, people would give me opportunities because they can smell it on you. They can tell by your consistency in that gym that you can be consistent in business. So that's a massive thing in actually shaping the reality to the way you want it to be, is showing that consistency in all areas of your life, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if there's anything that you're going to focus on to start off with straight away, is build that consistency in the gym. Build that consistency with your mind, and then whatever you do in business comes easy anyway, because you've already built that core foundation. You can already get the respect of people, you've already built that confidence, and you also build problem solving ability. Because when I got in the gym and I was like, right, how do I do this exercise? Don't know, I'm just going to try it anyway. And then can I lift this heavier weight this week? Yes, I can. The same thing goes for business. Can I try this new task? Is it going to work? No, I'll try and fail. Just like you do in the gym, just like you do in anything. So all of these skills are transferable. Don't just think like, oh, I've just got my gym here, and then I've got my work here, and then I've got my family here. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So our whole life now, as we're chasing this success and developing ourselves into top 1% men, is finding that equilibrium, that constant flow, that constant repetition, that constant trying and failing and learning across every single area of our life. That's how we build competency, because most people are too scared to fail. Most people are too scared to try. The majority of people, or even all these rich people you see, look like Brett Scales and all these guys, they've got money, but you wouldn't swap lives with them. Think about the people you'd swap lives with. You'd swap lives with people like the Tates, all those kind of people, because they're in shape, they've got the wives, they've got the cars, they've got the amenities, and they've got all of that. But even better, what we're going to do, me and you, brother, we're going to have all of that, and we're going to be super faithful to God, and we're going to have everything else in our lives locked down, and we're actually going to be beacons of hope and support, and we're not going to compromise on our values. We're going to be fully competent, I'm not saying these people aren't, I don't know the truth of their hearts, but this is the vision I have. I want us to, I say like I've transformed my reality over the past 2 years, and I have, but every 3 months I want to be updating it. Every month, every week, all the time, constant forward aggression towards our new goals that we're setting. That's why the 5-4-5 method works so well, because it gives us that breathing room to constantly refine our goals, constantly be focusing on the input that's going to get us to where we want to go. And our goals are going to change, our goals are going to get bigger down the line. So once we get through that initial boundary where we've broken all the vices, we've broken all of that stuff, then boom, right, I want to start influencing people now, right, I want to retire my parents now, right, I want to provide, I want to do this, I want to move city, all of this stuff, just constant progress. And all of this is all due to God. All of our progress, anything, is always due to Allah. So as long as we can glorify God in the process and glorify religion and show that that's the only thing that's even been fractionally important towards our progress and our success, then I know that we're doing a good thing in the eyes of God, because all glory is to Him. Anything good that we do is due to our efforts and God. If you think it's just you, that's arrogant. If you don't take any credit, then it's not going to be good for your mindset. So anything that we do good is up to us and God. Alhamdulillah. But mainly Allah, because nothing's written without Him. But yeah, right, I'm pulling up home now. Gonna go get dressed. And this is what I love about the way I've put my life in check now. It's like I get to work hard all day on my goals and my business that I love, and I get to wake up at 4 a.m. and I get to force that discomfort. So now it's 5 p.m. I'm gonna go get in the shower, and then we're gonna go out for a steak dinner. And I don't do drugs, and I don't have to drink, and I don't do any degeneracy, and I can still have a good time. But it would be better if I had some girls, like wives. If I had some wives. Soon we'll have wives at the table as well, boys, inshallah. 100k months and a few wives at the table. Gonna be good times, inshallah. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys the fit, show you guys how we're stepping, and then I'll catch up with you boys soon.
Hear my heart burn. For this is the end. I drowned and dreamt this moment. So overdue, I owe them.
Finished up dinner. Beautiful night with the boys. Always good catching up. And I like going to these big environments where in the past I would have easily succumbed to my desires. I would have easily chased hedonism and pleasure, thinking that's what would fulfill me. But now I realise the only thing that truly fulfills us is the daily effort, becoming our highest selves. And then you can have real tangible progress that you can track. You don't wake up the next day hungover. You don't wake up the next day taking back steps. You're always moving forward. That's what I love. That's genuinely what I love. And we're all going to have to fight these battles. We're all going to have to fight these desires every day because it's just within our nature. But the more that you can succumb to that, the more you build that reputation in your own mind that I'm the man. Nothing's going to steer me off course. Nothing's going to take me away from becoming the best man I can be. So when you're just starting to really get your life on track and you want to become that man who's worth more than just the money alone, worth more than just the success alone, it comes from building out this solid mindset, this direction of the man that you want to be, and letting your daily habits reflect that. Staying away from the hedonism, because little by little you will escape that. Little by little you'll craft yourself into the man that can be successful. And that's the journey we're on. It's those incremental improvements every day. So hopefully you guys took some good value from this video. Keep pushing. Love you boys. See you on the next one.